Patience.
Healing.
Purpose.
Unlearning.
Obedience.
Intentional.
Hi, my name is Treyana.
Hi, I'm Candace.
Hey y'all, I'm Mika Means.
Hey, I'm Bridget Marie.
Hey y'all, I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Raquel. Hey guys.
And this is Share Your Truth Season 3. Welcome back. Today's topic is about manifesting your best life.
Yes, that's me. Right? So I'm gonna talk about manifesting your best life because I think I'm a good manifester.
Yes.
Like I be manifesting everything. So I feel like manifesting is like putting things in front of you, like vision boards, or like just keeping it in front of you at all times is how I manifest. Because sometimes we forget on what we're doing. Like I used to write my goals like in an envelope and just like hide them. And then when I go back to the envelope, I'll be like, I wanted to do that. Like, you know, so now I'm basically like more so putting it in front of me. I envision it and I put it in front of me. I keep it in front of me. And then I start telling people stuff that ain't true. So like, I start, not like that, but you know how like, I speak it into existence, so I move in it. Like I tell people like, oh, I'm about to buy a house, but I'm really not about to buy a house, but I just tell people that like, and I'm manifesting, and then like a year later, I really bought a house. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I do that. Like I I just keep saying it. I just keep saying it, even though it's not that I'm lying. It's just like I'm speaking it into existence. Like, you know, so that's what I be doing. I be trying to give it like as if I'm walking in the already. Like, you know. So it's like, oh, I want a new car, I'm gonna get a new car. I'm about to give me a new car. I haven't went to the dealership to look at the car. I haven't test drove the car, but I keep saying it. And I keep saying it, and then next you know, I get a car. Like, you know, so that's my biggest thing that I feel like when it comes to manifestation, it's more so like keeping it in front of you and understanding what it takes to get there, because not taking steps towards what you're trying to manifest is not going to work. So like when some people say like pray and just let it go, or ask God for it and don't worry about it no more, I'll be like, what? Like, I know you asking God for it, but it's like, what are you doing to get it? Are you taking steps to get it? Are you improving in this? Like right now I'm manifesting being more calm. Right? So I'm manifesting that because I'm like naturally aggressive. I'm like just naturally aggressive. So right now what I'm doing is manifesting, even on social media, like everything that I post, it has like calmness to it. So if I post something on Instagram, I put like a brown background or a green background because it's calm. Because I'm trying to learn how to be more calm. And that's my thing. Like I'm like, okay, I know y'all probably like, why this girl steady posting brown and these like zenned out posts? It's because I'm really trying to be more calm because I'm very aggressive. Like I'm naturally aggressive. And it's not that I don't like it, because sometimes I gotta be there, but I don't want to give that off all the time. So I'm manifesting right now to just kind of like chill. We can chill, you know. So that's what I'm working on right now as far as like manifesting, because it's like the mind is powerful. Like, and I think we don't understand how powerful the mind is. Like when they say the mind is a terrible thing to waste, it's like, oh, that's just like a quote. No, like if you like drill things in your head over and over and over and over, you will start like literally like seeing your life rotate. I know I see my life rotate into things that I like spoke. I remember saying I was gonna move to Atlanta. I'm moving. I literally live in Atlanta. I remember saying I want a house, and I literally have a house. Like, you know, so it's like you gear yourself to this thing. Like if you change your mind, again, another like cliche quote, if you change your mind, you can change your life. And that's the truth. Like I really believe in that, because when I change my mind, my life really like shifts. So right now, I'm really in a space where I'm manifesting calmness. So like I take pictures of trees and shit. I'm taking pictures of like, you know, just like peaceful, calm things, and I'm putting it in the atmosphere, even on social media, what you watching. you know, the people you follow. Like some people, I had to go down the list and mute.
Absolutely.
I'm muting because I don't want to, you know, I don't follow them. Then it's a problem. So it's like mute. So because I want to look at things that's more like calm.
Yes, that's good.
You know, so that's what I'm on right now. Like that's my biggest thing as of right now is like manifesting this aggression off of me.
That's growth too.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm trying to, so like by next year, y'all gonna be like, Mika too chill. Y'all gonna be like, I'm good. I don't like that. Like, what happened? Like, but not that I wanna lose myself. I just wanna tone down some things. That's all. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, that's okay. That's growth. That's maturing.
Yeah, I want to tone down some things. I want to not pop off when in like 3 seconds. I want to do it in like 5. Like 5 to 10. Like 5 to 10. Like you pop off for 2. It's like I'm good for 10. I'm good for 10. That, you know, so it's not that I want to like
Stuff like that matters though.
It does.
Definitely need that
A
time.
couple of seconds will change your life.
Absolutely.
1 second can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
yes.
That's good.
So I'm putting that into perspective. I'm trying to, I am. I'm making my mind work the way that I know it can. I'm also understanding my power. With manifesting is knowing your power, you know? And I've learned my power since like season 2 and season 1. Like now I'm like, I know I'm powerful.
Yes.
Like, you know, I know when I walk in a room, I can shift, you know, the scene. Like, you know, I could walk in a room with 5 mad people and I could walk in happy and then next thing you know, the whole room is like off of what they were thinking of. And I didn't understand that before. But now that I'm manifesting, I know how to like walk in my power. I know that I shift things. I know that I'm a person of like influence. I didn't know that at first. I guess I wasn't. I don't know.
You didn't pay attention.
I didn't pay attention to it.
I think sometimes you are so busy just surviving and living that you don't pay attention to the energy that you have, or you don't pay attention to the influence that you have because you're so busy. I just gotta get from day to day, but people are literally like moving to you. You're like, girl, get off me. Like I'm trying to survive, but now you see it. But a lot of people are like that. What you like, Mika, like where you going today? What you doing? What you married? But you are influential.
I know, and I had to walk in. You have to get to a point to where you're walking in it and you're believing it. You have to get to a point because sometimes it's like that's like understanding like your potential. Like people could see your potential, but you don't see it yourself.
Right.
Or like people could see things on you that you just haven't, you know, understood yourself. So it was like a lot of people would tell me that, and it'll be like, until I start like, no, Mika, this is, and that's me understanding my purpose. Like a lot of things, like me understanding my purpose, it'd be like, girl, you are here for God.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand I was here for God until like now I'm like, no, you're here for God. I don't know why I'm like, Mika. No, for real though. No, for real.
Yes.
It's powerful.
Yes.
That's just like another level of elevation. Like what you was just saying, it's a difference when you have that type of power and influence and don't know it yet.
Right.
So once you realize it and you understand it and you see that it's on you and you start actually walking in it, then you just move to another level. Like it's always been on you. It's been on you from the jump, but once you start to actually, like I said, walk in it, you just go to a whole nother level and you start opening different doors.
You start really hyping
I agree. I totally agree. Of course, it took me growth and understanding for that. But
That's for all.
now I just be like, I'm here. I'm here for something, right? We are.
Right.
But it's like we don't be knowing what we're here for.
Right.
Until, you know.
Yeah.
And then like once you figure it out, it becomes like so powerful to where you be like, I was not here for that. And it's like you are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm sitting over here like
I love it.
Like the Word of God talks about that.
Right.
And it tells us to put our words into action, like our words, and then it follows. Well, it starts with your mindset, then your words, then your walk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes it's like your humbleness of just like, God didn't call me. Like sometimes we can be too humble, and God is like, I did call you.
Right.
And when He's called you, and the people are listening, like that's just a whole nother elevation. Like you like, it's like, God, little old me, and whose life can I really change? I think for me, it was just knowing that God allowed me to go through so many things so that I can change my language to manifest what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like that hurt and that pain that we go through, it is sometimes intentional by God, because He needs you to go through that so that you can start coming to Him. And then when you go to Him, it's like, God, I ain't got nothing else but you. Like, I have to depend on you. And then the Word of God becomes real. Right. Because now you've hit rock bottom. Now you feel like you're drained. Now you feel like, Lord, I don't have who I used to call on to be here for me. You know, so being able to manifest what it is that you want, it starts with knowing that God sees something in you. Right. Like, do we understand like how He just created us from day one in our mother's womb for something? And that's something sometimes we don't find. I'm 38 years old and I'm like, okay, God, now like me, I'm starting to understand a little bit more, but I know I have a long way to go. But I'm happy where I am now, and just to know that God sees something in me and I don't quite see it yet, completely. But I'm like, okay, God, I'm all in. And that's what it's about, like being all in. And then the Word of God clicking. Like God, I don't know where it's gonna go from here, but okay, I'm all in. And then He can just do something magical. Like it's just like miraculous things start happening. And your hand's not on it no more, because you literally trusting Him to make it all happen. So I love that, Mika. That's beautiful. And I love how you said too, like it's not just material things. It's like me as a person, I can literally.
And I think a lot of times when it comes to manifesting, people think of like tangible items. Like they think of cars, they think of houses, they think of Chanel bag, or you know. They don't really take into consideration of manifesting your mindset. They don't take into consideration of like just becoming better, becoming in like walking in what you're supposed to be walking in at that time. Because I'm a very seasonal person. Because sometimes I'm not in the season to do that. Like that might not be the season I'm in no more. You know, I might be in a different season, but I'm still, you know, making things happen for what is going on at the time, if that makes sense. So for example, it's like at a time it was like, okay, I was in the season of giving back and doing this and actually like, you know, walking in the hood and passing out stuff, and you know, and it's like that's not the only way to give back. You get what I'm saying? Like I think I'm a representation for like the little black ghetto girls in the hood that just feel like I can't have that, or I can't obtain that, or like, you know, just not believing that they could buy houses when all that's in their head is like low income or public assistance and housing, because I come from that. So I feel like I'm the advocate for them to let them see like, girl, like you can do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's one of my purposes with being here, is just like letting the little ghetto girls know like, you don't really gotta fight, you know that, like, you know, or that's not the only way that y'all can handle that, or you know, I think that's my main purpose, is just showing those girls that it's something better, you know, and how to manifest it.
And I think the knowing your purpose, or knowing a piece of your purpose, will allow you to manifest things that you have never even thought about. Like for me, so I just feel like manifesting your best life, and I think anybody and everybody should require of themselves to manifest your best life. Thinking of things that you have never thought of, that your parents didn't have, your grandparents didn't have, none of your friends may have had, right? Because God has bigger things, just like Trey said, just like Mika said, like God has greater things for each one of us. And when you realize that, okay, God has something special for me, He got a purpose for me, He got a calling for me, I'm anointed, like I'm here for Him, then you'll start seeing things differently, right? Your perspective changes a little bit, right? And so, like for me, I made up a company that was manifesting greatness. I haven't did nothing with it, but I had the name, right? But God is like, you can manifest greatness because I put greatness in you. And I think the thing is, God shows us the end at the beginning. So he showed me what greatness I can put into the atmosphere, that he's placed in me that I can put into the atmosphere. So now I'm like, okay, God, well, give me all the tools, give me all the resources, and that's where the manifesting comes into. But you do have to believe it, like Nika said. You got to believe that God can do this through you, that God can put you in places that you ain't never stepped in, that your name is going to be with people that never even met you. You know what I'm saying? That everything that you do is aligned with him, and so that way you're going to meet the greatness that is on the other side of your manifestation. And so once I was like, okay, God, like, but it's not looking like how you said it was gonna look. And sometimes it's not gonna look like your plan. It's gonna always look like what he wants it to be. So we have to like really realize, like, just let me God use me so that I'm doing what you called me to do, even if I had to throw away my plan, even if I had to put my plan on the back burner, so you allowing me to, you know, move according to your will instead of my will. Because even right now, in my life right now, I feel like I have stopped manifesting. I feel like I've stopped doing what he called me to do. I'm trying to pick it up. I'm trying to get the momentum back. And sometimes you do lose momentum when you're trying to manifest your best life, child. But just know, like, it's gonna come back. And especially when it's a part of your purpose, you can't run from it. You're going to have to manifest it. Whether it's on right now, whether it's 5 years from now, 10 years from now, like, you have to know that you are the one who's going to have to put it into the atmosphere and then have to follow up with it. Because you can say it all day, and that's the thing. With manifesting, just like Mika said, like, you can't just keep saying it. You can't just keep saying it. It sounds good, because that's me, y'all. I'm talking to myself. Okay? Saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it with no action behind it, it's not going to go nowhere. It's not going to do nothing. So you have to not only speak it, you got to believe it, and then you got to you have to put it into place for it to manifest the way God wants it to. And it's not always going to look like what you want it to look like. And it's going to be hard.
It is.
It's hard as hell.
And then on top of that, I feel like when it comes to, we be scared. It be a lot of fear, right? It be a lot of fear in place when it comes to manifesting. Right. Fear is one of the biggest things that keep us from obtaining whatever it is that we want, jumping over the hurdle. The me with God with the big teddy bear in the back and the girl with the little teddy bear. That's like one of my best, because I was there at one point. It was like he was saying, give it to me, and I was like, let me see what's behind you first. Like, show me first. Like, do a little move. Like, you know, give me something. Like, you know, but of course we don't be knowing what's behind his back. We don't know if it's greater. We don't know if it's a bigger man. We don't know. So that keep us from, like, I'ma just hold on to
what
this.
I got was familiar.
What's familiar to me, right? And I think I battle with that a lot, because a lot of times I hear, you know, y'all told me how to hear God's voice, right? So I be hearing them, but I be like, no, I don't know, was that me? Or, you know, I'm always asking myself that. So God always have to strip stuff from me. He always have to say, I already told you to leave it alone. You don't wanna give it to me, so I'm taking it. So I'm always the one that's getting, like, stripped from it, and when I get stripped from it, I don't know what to do. I be like, and then now that I'm older and I'm more spiritual, I be like, God been telling me to drop you. God been telling me to leave. But every time he strips something from me, it's always a bigger bed. It's always a bigger bed. You get what I'm saying? So I remember back 2014, I lived in a low-income apartment. I don't know if I ever told you guys this. I lived in a low-income apartment, and I stayed there for like 9 years. That was all I knew. I grew up living in subsidized housing. My mama, my granny. That's how I grew. Instead of filling out college applications, I was filling out low income apartments, right? So it was drilled in me. That's all I knew. I didn't know how to pay regular rent. Guess what? God took it. He took it from me. So now I'm crying. I'm taking pictures off the wall. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I moved in with my granny. So when I moved in with my grandmother, I didn't know how to go pay $1,700. I didn't know how to go pay regular rent. Like, that was so far-fetched in my mind. I was just like, I'm just living with my granny. Like, so, but I've always had a plan. I've always wanted more. You get what I'm saying? So when I left, I moved in with my grandmother, and I literally stayed with her for like a year. Opened up my business while I was with her, right? Was nervous about that. I was nervous about opening my business, living with my granny, because I was worrying about what people was gonna say. Like, she stay with her granny and opening a business, but I did it anyway. And that changes your mind and your perspective of things, right? So I did that anyway. Still living with my grandmother, opened my business, moved out with my grandmother to a regular apartment that I was paying regular rent. Something that I thought I could not do. Something that I just was like, I don't know how this is gonna happen, but I made it. I made it to being a homeowner. But guess what? If I did not leave that, if God did not take that apartment from me, I would still be there. I would still not know how to pay regular rent. I would still not have a business. I would still be there trying not to work because I don't want my rent to go up. Like, it was things that he took it from me, and it was like the best thing. The bear that was big, baby, it get bigger and bigger every year. Not every year, but like, I just see my life just like, dang, what if I was still just living in this apartment, paying $300, $400 a month, not knowing what real life is? And it's so many of us that like battle. I guess so many people like, is it gonna mess up my Section 8? Is it? And it's like, dang, I remember it. I remember being there. Like, so I feel like I'm an advocate for those people. Like, sis, your life is gonna change abundantly when you let it go.
Because it's something that's not talked about.
It's not.
People don't talk about it. They don't talk about, because I had a situation where I was talking to a little girl, and I'm like, you can work here. Well, my mama said that's gonna mess up her Section 8 if I get a job.
And it's the
my mama said I can't work.
That is real.
Under the table. But you are the beacon for that.
Yeah.
But people don't talk about it.
No, and I think no one talks about it because it's like a stigma with like Section 8. It's like, you think you better than if you choose not to.
It's like a stigma, but then behind the closed doors, it's like you trying to get application up. Like, you got the Chanel bag and you doing it in front, but behind the scenes, you like, hey, what you got on the food stamps? But it's like, nobody wants to talk about it.
I agree.
But behind closed doors, you trying to get the hookup.
Yes.
But in front of everybody's like, no, I own this business, I'm doing well. That's when it comes on taking the mask off and being honest, like, well, how do I get out of this of trying to look like I'm doing better? But behind the scenes, I'm trying to shuck and jive, and then I'm really trying to manifest it. You know what I'm saying? But I was gonna say, for manifesting, I think the foundation or the bottom low of the low is just belief and truth. And belief is just believing that it can happen. And two, the truth is everybody can eat the truth cake, like you were saying. Everybody can see it in you. But if you don't eat the truth yourself or see that you can do it, then you can't do it. And for me personally, I'm trying to manifest obedience. Period. Because I hear and I hear so clearly, and I hear for other people, and I know. But then I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go left.
That's a tough one.
And it gets me every time, guys. It gets me every time. So for me, I'm like, God, like, just help me like manifest this obedience. Help me manifest application, because it's something that Bridget dad said, and he was like, first it's a thought, then it becomes an action, then the action becomes something you do, and then it becomes a habit, and then it becomes a part of your character. And it's just that fast. So it's just like when manifesting, it's like, it's my thought, it's something I'm saying every day. But if my actions ain't aligning up with what I'm manifesting, then I can say, you're creative, you're gonna own the business. I can say that every day, but if every day I still walk into my regular job and I'm talking to her about being fearful about starting, then I'm not gonna start. But when individuals, like you were saying, when you start showing up and saying things, and I'm like, oh, well, Mika did that. Okay, she's saying, okay. oh, they're telling me that I could do it. Let me eat this truth for myself. Okay, now I could do it. And now I could go for it. So I think that's important to let everybody know, like, your bottom thing is belief. You gotta believe in yourself, and you gotta believe that it can happen. You gotta see it.
Not only that though, but I believe with truth and belief is faith without works is dead. Like it's write the vision, make the plan. You gotta put in the work, like how Mika said. Like you can say it all you want, but if you not putting in the work to make it happen, it's not gonna happen.
And if you forget, you know, like I said in the beginning, if you don't have it in front of you at all times,
Right.
you will forget. You will forget the plan. You will forget what it is that you're working on. You will forget. So it's like you have to literally like have it in front of you every year. Like a vision board. A lot of people are like, I don't like them, and it's like, okay, that's cool. But do something that you like that gives you a vision. Do something that you like that's gonna put it in front of you. Do something that you like that's going to keep it on your mind. It don't have to be a vision board. It could be on your screensaver in your phone. Every time you open it, you see this particular thing that you're trying to manifest. To me, I feel like everything that we put into ourselves, who we surround ourselves with, all of that play a part in manifesting. The people you sit next to at the tables and what they choose to talk about, it plays a part, and it don't got nothing to do with anything tangible. It don't have anything to do with a house or a car. It has all things to do with your mind and who you talking to, what they're talking about. How is it that you could shift the conversation from left to right? How you could say, oh, I don't want to be a part of this table anymore. Get up and know how to go and sit at another table. Even if you at the table by yourself. You get what I'm saying? You have to understand that, and and all of that is manifesting. Who you sit next to, what phone calls is draining you to where you like, oh, she draining. You know, because things be draining when you talk to certain people. When the phone call, it's like, I don't want to talk to that. You know, it's energy. All of that plays a part in manifesting. All of it, who you surround yourself with, who you conversate with, what you're looking at on social media, how you're looking at it on social media. All of that plays a part with your mind.
Absolutely.
And if your mind is not on the road to getting it, nothing else is. It comes with believing and putting it in your mind. So it's like, if you don't surround yourself with people that's going to give you something, like, everybody need to give you something. I tell everybody that. Your friends need to be giving you something, just like you should be giving your friends something. We should be getting something from one another, right? Something. Again, it ain't nothing tangible. It's all energy. It's all something we should be giving. Yes, I want you to give me something. I want to give you something. If I'm not giving you something, we don't need to be around each other, because we're not giving you. We're not. It's not an equal exchange. And not saying that you may not be able to do what I should do for you. But when I'm talking to you, I should be able to receive something.
Right.
You know, and I feel like that's a big part when it comes to manifesting. It's like, what are you putting into your mind daily? Right. Who are you talking to? Are they, you know, manifesting to your greatness? Are they helping you manifest to your greatness? I'm at a point right now to where I feel like the circle that I'm around, I gotta shift it a little bit, because I feel like I'm the teacher. I'm teaching. I want to be taught. I want to learn. I don't want to be the one that's always teaching. I like to be sitting down, whether it's spiritual, whether it's finances, whether it's mental, emotional, like pour into me to where I could feel like I'm getting something out of this. So right now I'm in a place of like trying to just stay calm and shift myself to putting myself with more like-minded people of my future. And not my today.
Future self.
My future self. So who I plan to be a year from now? What do I plan on looking like a year from now? I need to shift. And you know, I keep saying it ain't got nothing to do with tangible.
Right.
Because people think that so much. People think it has something to do with you hanging with people that wear Chanel bags. Or people who own houses. No. I want to be around people who are calm. You know? Because if they're calm, I can be calm.
That's part of the
You know what I'm saying? If you
And that used to scare me though, because if you're in a room, because I'm used to being, or have been used to being that person that's teaching, moving, giving. I'm like, well, what does it look like for me to receive? Or what does it look like for me to be in rooms with individuals that I don't know nothing about what they're talking about? I remember when I came in this here situation, I'm like, oh, they all got businesses, they all got whoop-de-whoop. Like, oh, I don't know none of that. Like, let me just say that. Oh, they're educated. Oh, y'all got degrees. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna start shrinking. You know, start shrinking. And so at first that was scary to me. So, but now I'm like, nah, you don't always gotta be the person leading. Like, it needs to be a mentor somewhere. And if it ain't in your crew and it ain't in your circle, you need to have a person that knows a little bit more than you, that can give a little bit more than you, that is comfortable with saying, listen, let me show you this. But I think people are a lot of people want to be the king or the queen of a circle and know everything, but you still need somebody that knows a little bit more than you. So to pour into you so you can keep growing.
How you elevate?
How
do you elevate by placing yourself around people that are at the same level as you, at the same mental capacity as you? You know, and I feel like, again, that goes back to, if you're trying to manifest something, you putting it into play even with the people that you sit next to. You're manifesting your best life is who I'm working on from 2022 to 2025. Who am I working on? I'm working on being more calm. I want to be more relaxing. I don't want to always be the aggressive one. Like, you know, that's what I'm working on. So I cannot sit with women or men that want to be aggressive. Because I will never learn how to be calm.
It's gonna put it right back.
It's gonna, you know, I'm gonna think it's normal. I'm gonna think the things that they're doing is normal. Because that's all I know. And it goes back to just all they know. That's all you know. And it's like you have to shift. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You have to go and you have to do things. If it make you uncomfortable, but you really want to do it, get uncomfortable every time. Get uncomfortable every time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Until it becomes a normal for you. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, what we all touched on, very important things about manifesting your best life, right? Having a plan, being strategic about it, moving in that plan, and then keeping it in front of you, right? And then another important part also is being patient with yourself, because just like Bridget, she was talking about, it's not gonna always look like how you expect it to look like. And in that process of it not looking the way that you want it to look like, you can't give up. That's why it's so important to have it written down and keeping it in front of you so that you can stay reminded, even when you start going back to the ways that you're trying to change from, right? You may fall back into that pattern every so often. You may come around people that are aggressive, and you just have to be patient with yourself and continue to believe and know what you want. And I also think that it's so important to be intentional, because when you are manifesting things, you are going to have to be in situations that's going to put you isolated, that's going to put you by yourself. You're going to be isolated. It's going to put you in situations that's going to make you uncomfortable. So it's so important to know exactly what it is that you want and be selfish about it. Fight for it, you know, because it's going to be situations that's going to test you. It's going to be situations that's going to put you on the fire to see, is this really what you want? And that's why you just have to be grounded. And it is important to have certain people around you that can support you when you do fall back. It's so important to have people around you that's going to continue to support you and encourage you when you do fall. So that's a huge part of manifesting, being patient with yourself, believing with yourself, and not giving up, because it's going to take time for those things to happen. And I'm so glad you said 2022 to 2025, this is what I want. You give yourself time. That's a 3-year gap for you to grow, because guess what? It's not going to happen overnight. You know, you're not going to just become calm because you said it. And even when you put yourself around people that's calm, it's going to take time, because you got to start breaking those old habits. You have to start developing new habits. So have fun with the journey. Have fun with manifesting. And
I was gonna say, because it's important that when you're manifesting, you have to start unlearning things.
I was just thinking
because I had, like, I'm so used to doing it that way, but if you're trying to manifest this, those tools don't work over here.
No, they don't.
You gotta throw those away so that you.
So
It
it's a
makes
whole
you feel
process.
naked.
Like unlearning and relearning
Yes.
is a thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Right?
Major.
It's
Yes.
major because it comes from generations.
Yes.
It
Right.
comes from grandparents, and you think, well, my granny did it. That don't mean your granny was right.
Man.
Right? Like that does not mean
You won't bring
that
me right.
I think that is our biggest thing that we hold on to that
So true.
messes us up as black women, as black men. We hold on to our grandmother
Traditional.
tradition.
Yeah.
We hold on to things that need to be let go.
Yes.
Generational.
Generational
Right.
curses, generational things that you were actually taught.
Yeah.
I was only taught to live in subsidized Section 8.
Right.
That's all I knew. That does not fit for my lifestyle.
Right.
Just because our grandparents is doing it does not, it was right for them.
At that time.
At that time. It's a different day and time. I'm doing things different.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I'm letting that go.
I'm gonna do it different for my
You
kids
have
as
to
well.
unlearn and relearn who you are, what Trayana like, what Candace like, what Mika like, what Bridget like, what Jasmine like, what Kale's like, what fits me.
Right.
What you did do not fit me.
Right. That's
Because everybody is different.
Everybody is
And we think it's a cookie cutter situation. Like, everybody is different, even with our children. That multiple children, even though we came from the same household, you could take all of my siblings and be like, where the heck? Because my brother, I'll be wondering, where you come from, brother?
Don't do
Because
that.
I did. I'm like, brother, where did you come from? But then you have to realize that everybody is different and everybody's mold is different. But that's not how we were raised. So then you got to figure out, okay, well, how do I feed into this person like this? And how do I feed? So I was going to say it's important for you to have a support system, even though manifestation is within yourself. You need to have a support system. And you need to have some people that's rocking with you, that can consult you, that can correct you, that can let you know. Because so often we get into ourselves like, girl, this is my thing, shut up. But it's like, no, I need to correct you because, baby girl, if you're working on this, then why are you doing that? And if this is your goal, then why are you going there? Because that don't even add up. But then, like I said, my thing is disobedience. So sometimes I'll be like, girl, I didn't go to go that way anyway. But to having a support system that could pray for you and that can actually tap into you, like, girl, and that you actually listen to.
You have to value the person.
You got to value the relationship,
right?
for
You
sure.
have to value the opinion of the person. Because when you don't value a person's opinion, if you don't value what they tell you, it's going to be
No problem.
one ear out the other. You know,
That's what I'm
sometimes
saying.
you
Build
can't
it
go.
up. Build it up. Get the people.
Yes,
Like,
you can't
if-
go
if
to
you-
everybody.
Right. If
To
you
talk
feel
about
like
things,
this person,
you
is it, then tell them what you're trying to manifest.
Mm-hmm.
Trust that this relationship, I trust you enough to be like, you know what, hold me accountable to this. Don't just get anybody, because you ain't gonna listen to anybody. But when you truly trying to manifest something, you really need that support because you breaking generational curses. You turning stuff around and it makes you feel like you're naked, it makes you feel like you're vulnerable, it makes you irritated because how do I do this without that?
And since you brought the word vulnerable up, I feel like I wanted to touch on just vulnerability when it comes to manifesting, because being vulnerable shows more strength than it shows weakness. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, you know, everybody want to be just so tough. Everybody want to be so like,
Everybody wanna be
nobody, I don't care. Nobody cares. It's like
care.
no one cares.
You're bothered.
I don't want to be with nobody who don't care about nothing. I don't want to be around somebody who always, I don't care, and I don't want to be around you because I want to be around people who care about something.
Yeah.
What do you care about? Like, oh, your feelings not hurt about that? Well, my feelings hurt. I'm gonna tell you now. Your feelings never hurt. You never care. Why not be vulnerable? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to manifesting, it's to be vulnerable. It's to let yourself down, let go, and that's how you want to receive, because you're letting, you know, being vulnerable is not a bad thing.
No,
it's not.
Right? And it's the time to be vulnerable. It's people to be vulnerable with. But you also could say that you care. No one want to care. It'd be like, you don't care. like, oh, that hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Right.
I think too with
I really
relationship,
like-
like people in your life too, you have to like, I don't know, God put this in my spirit a long time ago, like, know why I put that person in your life. Like, don't just be having folks in your life. Like, there's a reason for the people that are in our life for that season. And they're either going to be a part of that manifestation, or they may be on the outskirts, but they know what's happening and they're praying for you. Or it may be someone that's close and they know the steps and they're encouraging you. Everybody has to, like Mika said, they all are giving something. You have to give something, but it doesn't all have to be the same.
Right.
But I need to know why you in my life, because I feel like for me, I was manifesting one thing, like Kel said, but then doing something different. Well, I need somebody, like you guys were saying, like to check me and say, Trey, but don't check me because it's something that you want me to do, but check me because it's what God has told me what to do. And you understand it as well. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Don't check me because it's in your best interest.
Yes, best interest or whatever, because sometimes people can see you manifesting and they want to be a part of the manifesting for whatever reason. It's not like they're doing it intentionally, but they may be want to be a part of your manifestation and they're calling you out on things that benefits them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to be important because you are vulnerable. So it's important to have the right people to call you out, because sometimes it can shift you so much that you like, what the heck just happened? But God has people in your life for a season, for a reason. And when you're elevating, it calls for separation. That was hard for me. Like, I want everybody to go with me.
Right.
I want everybody to go, but some people cannot go with you. And it's not because I think I'm better than you or nothing like that, but it goes back to like the people around you. I can't trust you to call me out if you ain't calling yourself out. So it's like all these things that God starts showing, he reveals so much to you when you allow him to. And you just like, God, okay, if it causes me to lose that, and I'm gonna gain this in this area, because sometimes you gotta lose that little circle of whatever, comfortability. It could be people, it could be things. And then when God takes you here, those people are then coming to the place that God intended for you to be in for their life. Because we try to hold on to people and it's like, okay, I'm manifesting, but the timing's not right. For you, for them. And it, like, it's, to me, it's so deep that I want God to check me. I'm welcoming him to check me on everything this season. Like, I don't want to be right all the time, God, because I know I'm not right. So if you call me to do it, that means you know the plan from A to Z. So how dare I try to implement my own stuff or my people or whatever the case is? Like, whew, I love this topic. This topic is really deep.
So what Trey was saying, and with all of us, what we were saying about, you know, manifesting is really, for me and with all the other women, is placing people in your life that helps you manifest. Is believing that you can manifest. Is, you know, walking in your manifestation. All of that brings the life to whatever it is that you got on. It brings the life out of whatever it is you're manifesting. Keep it in front of you at all times. Remember it. You know, write it down. Take a picture. Whatever you want to do, write it down. Take the steps. Surround yourself with like-minded people to get you on to the next level. Again, it takes time. Again, give yourself increments of, I give myself 3 to 5 years to, you know, expand and grow, because I've just been learning that about myself. So give yourself time, be patient. Also, again, just surround yourself with like-minded people. Understand that manifesting does not always have to be tangible. It could be anything. It could be me being calm. You know, it could be just, you know, wanting to see the world in a different way of life or living. It does not always have to be a bag. It does not always have to be a car. It does not always have to be a house. So that's my take on manifestation.
This is
Share your truth.